So we bringing back the old Zerk. That's what we doing. We bringing back the old Zerk. I'm talking about pre-CCQ. I'm talking about old school, like prime Zerk, revenge build Zerk. That's what we're doing. We're bringing him back. What's going to YouTube, man? It's your boy, the True Raw Gaming. That'll wrap it up for you, man. I'll just script it for you. I'm going to get this shit to you, bro, man. In today's video, we're going to be covering the new update that is coming to For Honor, man. And this one's going to be big. They're doing some pretty nasty changes here. And we're implementing a lot of things that we can enjoy. And some people might be a little upset at some things coming up. So if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you guys drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment down below on what you guys want to see next, man. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first things first, we have a new game mode coming up, man. New game mode. It is the 2v2 v2. So this is similar to how they did the 1v1v1 a little while back, but they're doing it now with the 2v2 v2. And according to them and their data analytics, they were saying that it wasn't really received as well as they thought it was going to be, because people were complaining mostly about getting targeted by one specific person or both parties targeting one individual. A lot of the complaints were saying that they just feel like they're not able to enjoy the game because they're just constantly getting targeted. I don't understand what the issue is. I mean, if you're the weaker player in the lobby, I don't understand why you are complaining. Why not just get better at the game? It just sounds like a skill issue to me, honestly. I really enjoyed the game mode. I had really no complaints. I enjoyed the scenery. It was something new. It was something fresh. It was something very, 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 very good. And this is kind of what I said, like when I made that video a while back. This is kind of going to be the test to kind of see where they go with this game. If we support them enough, we'll start getting bigger and bigger things and possibly more potential permanent modes. But that mode, I guess, is just not going to happen. So they're trying it again because it seems they're really interested in these free-for-all mode, which I've been saying for years. There needs to be a free-for-all in a fighting game like this. They're doing it now in a 2v2v2 way. This, I think, is going to be received well when it comes out. Basically, the premise of this is they were saying that as long as you now have a teammate, you feel comfortable. Now you shouldn't feel like you're the only one getting targeted. You have someone to have your back, and it gives it more of a dynamic feel where it's not always going to be one guy just getting cheated out of a match. It's going to be you and your teammate versus the other teams, and that's just enough players to put people in a more dynamic match because you don't really know how you're going to get. You might get ganked by 2, you might get ganked by 3, you might get ganked by 4. Is a lot of a lot of different things that you can get done in that type of style of game. I think I'm gonna be really interested in it, especially I like to stay around the core couple of guys that I play with online. I think this is gonna be really good for us to play. Next, we have a new home screen. The new home screen is looking a little more refreshing. I'm not gonna be opposed to it. I like it. Am I crazy over it? No, but this does give players similar to me and probably other players who played a lot longer than me, maybe even the beta. It gives them something else to really look at, especially when you're logging on pretty much almost every day, probably not missing a day, and you're playing match after match. It kind of gets a little boring, kind of gets a little repetitive. So this gives a little bit of refreshing look for me in my opinion. I get to look at something a little bit different. So I'll take that. That is a plus. And now to the juiciness, the meat and potatoes, man. The testing grounds. The testing grounds is kind of what everybody went crazy over when they dropped this stream. So they're going to be really looking at Zerk. Now, looking at these testing grounds and looking how they do it in the past, they're starting to do this thing where they're testing out little things here and they're doing one character. But they also said in the stream that this is probably going to be the last time they do this because the last one, it wasn't, I guess, a lot of votes or a lot of activity within the testing ground. Like I maybe not as much as they would have liked, I should say. And they were saying that they may not do this style of game where they do one character. They might do some feats with him to fix that one character. I don't know. But they were just saying in general that this might be the last time they do this style of testing grounds. So they may go back to how they used to do it where I don't know, they're doing a conglomerate of different things and they're going to throw it all in there and you can play it over and over and over and over again to test out different things and test out different situations. I don't know how it looks on their analytics side, but that's kind of what he was alluding to in the stream. But going for defeat number 1, it's going to be a 15 damage axe and the base cooldown would be a 60-second cooldown. And here's the kicker. So when you're taking damage, it actually reduces the timer. Now, when I first saw that, I instantly thought this is gonna stack, right? Like, is this gonna be every single attack? You know what I'm saying? But then I kind of broke it down. I kind of listened to the conversation, and basically what I'm thinking it's similar to is how, for example, slip through has changed to what it is now, where you can do your attack and that cooldown starts going down. Once the cooldown is over, then you can stack it up again. Um, is there a cap to how many times you can do that? I would imagine it would have to be, because I mean, if you have a 60-second cooldown, and you cooling it down by five seconds, and let's say you're for 5 seconds you can't do it again, and then after those 5 seconds you can drop the time down again. Well, if you're a Zerk and you're staying alive, isn't this theoretically you're just gonna have this feat like just over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? I just don't want to go into another situation where we're dealing with what, like Ki, where it's just consistently just getting hit with that first feat. Hopefully that's not the case, but that one doesn't seem as strong by itself. So feat number 2 is going to increase the damage and speed by 20% for 5 seconds. Maybe I missed this piece of information, but I'm assuming that from the first feat, when you take damage, it brings down the cooldown. I would assume that's for all of them, because he did bring it up in the end toward the 4th feat. So I'm going to assume that 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are all going to go by the same properties of, as you take damage, you're going to drop the timer on your feats. So that could be crazy. That could definitely be crazy. I think at this point is when you start seeing like, okay, this character might be something. If you can stay alive, it might be something here. Feat number 3, infinite stamina and all attacks are enhanced. So we're still talking about Zerk here at the end of the day. Zerk is nowhere near the greatest duelist in the game, but thinking of it like a MM match, right? You got Breach, Dom. No one's playing Tribute. Not even gonna mention that, but Breach and Dom, just every single attack being enhanced. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of advantage as well. Plus the guy has hyper armor, so there's no trading. If you get pinned against a corner, or you get backed against a wall, or some kind of environment, or some spikes or something, and this Zerk is like, he's just throwing everything. You're gonna have to parry if you want any chance of dodging out of the mix. If you want to, if you don't have a deflect, you're not playing Shinobi where you can teleport behind someone, you're gonna have to parry, or you're gonna have to flip. If you're like a BP, you're gonna have to be forced to do something in these situations, because enhanced attacks, especially with Zerk, they're just gonna keep going. There's no stopping. They have frame advantage behind it. Just in certain situations, I can see how, before I even get my hands on it, I can see how it could be strong in those type of situations. Now, I feel like I'm starting to see that maybe these might be a little bit more dependent on what kind of situation, how good of a player you are to get this stuff. Because it seems like right now it won't be strong if you just die every fight you get into. You know what I'm saying? And the last one, this is the one right here. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. Uninterruptible, and you cannot drop below 1 HP. So, in other words, you're unkillable for that duration. And while this is happening, you are still able to build revenge. While this is happening, you are still able to activate the other feats. That is crazy. So you could activate a tier 2 feat while popping this one, and then getting revenge, taking more damage, and then by the time this is done, if you're playing your cards right, and if it works the way I think it's going to work, you can drop that timer in half. And you might get it twice in the same fight. Like I said, I got to see how it is, because I'm assuming maybe they dropped that information in there. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. If you did and you do know what's going on, let me know down below. I believe, if I'm right, the timer is gonna be dropped for all the feats when you take damage, and even while in revenge. So while you're taking damage, you're able to use this and be unkillable. And you should theoretically be able to drop that timer over and over and over and over again, unless they're going to stop it at the first 5 seconds and that's it. If it is, then it's not that strong. but I don't think they would do that because he was trying to allude that they want this Berserker styled gameplay. So that is crazy. Like, just imagine someone who stays alive, who's probably going 10-1 the whole game. He's gonna have all his feats. He's gonna be untouchable practically. I don't know. I'm curious to see what that's gonna be like. I don't play Zerk, but I'm curious to see what that's gonna be like because I do know a couple of guys who play Zerk. So we'll see how that's gonna play out. Next up, we got a couple hero changes coming up with Sohei. We have he can now light heavy and now heavy light. I generally don't play the character that much. Like I said, I gave you guys my views on the character in theory when he first came out. They made him a little bit better. They're slowly but surely making him a little bit better. This is kind of changes to kind of change what they did initially because they did a little swap around on how he works. So I don't disagree with it. I mean, I feel like this will make him a little bit more usable, give him better options. Do I think this is gonna make him the greatest duelist we've ever seen? Probably not. But this is definitely gonna make him be able to win a little bit more fights than he used to. On top of that, they sped the zone up just a little bit. Speeding the zone up, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't run into too many Soheis. I mean, I'm playing Dom most of the time. I don't run into too many Soheis. Can't really recall any like crazy Soheis that just kind of wrecked me. So it's okay. Why not? But here's the one that's kind of gonna get him now. Doing the GB vulnerability. He's not gonna be able to throw a zone and kind of just hoping to trade and then just feign it and just get a guaranteed guard break and then just do max souls on you. I guess that was a thing. I can't remember off the top of my head if I've ever ran into something like that. I would have to really think on that. I don't think I have any. I have footage of me getting beat, but I don't have anything like that. I can't remember seeing anything like that. But this is just according to what he said. I guess guys were doing this who really play Sohei a lot and love Sohei. They kind of just started manipulating, abusing that. I didn't really get hit with that too much, so I didn't really play against way too many Sohei, so it doesn't really apply to me too much. Pirate, man. Hey, clap it up, man. Hey, we did our thing, man. Fuck Pirate, okay? Everybody who plays Pirate, you're not going to be good, okay? That's just what it is. You're using Pirate, and you think you're good, and you're really not that good. So basically, you are no longer going to be able to dodge cancel after the dodge attack. Because what people were doing was, especially in these scrims and these tourneys, it's so fucking annoying, dude. It's so annoying. I'm tired of dealing with it. Like match after match, there's this one guy who will always play Pirate every time. And what they do is they'll look at you, throw a dodge attack, and they're going to quickly lock on to the guy behind you, and they'll just keep spamming it, keep spamming it, keep spamming it. You can't parry the attack. You can only block the attack. And by blocking the attack and leaving it enhanced, you're pretty much negative. So you're really not going to get a chance to kind of do anything unless you can lock on to somebody else and, take a risk in getting hit with, opening up. A couple times if you're Shinobi, maybe if you're Orochi, if you get in the right angle, it has to be perfect. You can deflect it, but for the most part, I mean, I know guys are doing it probably on purpose. They're really good at playing it safe, and then they're just doing that and then turning around, locking on you and throwing a punish, and you can't actually do anything about it because after that he has a couple options he wants to do. So they're kind of getting rid of that. To me, after listening to the stream too, I started picking up on. I kind of figured that Pyro was gonna get nerfed. I figured it had to be. It was coming. They already got Orochi, they already got Berserker, and they were doing pretty much the same thing. It's just that Pyro was just so fucking good because you were able to fucking do that lunging bullshit and just grab somebody and shoot him in the stomach with a gun. It was just crazy. So based on what he was saying and kind of what I was kind of putting together, it looks like it's experimental. They kind of want to see what's performing, and based on their analytics, they're looking at how it's performing in game and looking at some of the report backs on how these things are happening and how people are interacting with the characters and stuff like that. So they look at a bunch of different things. Reddit is definitely one. Looking at some of these forums, looking at content creators, looking at the tournaments, looking at TikToks, YouTubes, all these things, and they're looking at the percentage of win rates and stuff like that. So Just in certain situations, the character just seems completely unbeatable. Like I said, in those 2v2 situations, when your teammate's standing next to you and he's trying to help you, it can very well seem detrimental because there's nothing you can do to that pirate. You can't catch him, you can't grab him, you can't really throw anything at him. There's really nothing much you can do unless he hopes he makes a mistake or you just eat damage and it stops the chain. So that's kind of that. And to me, I don't think that she's gonna be hard meta. She's probably gonna still be useful. In the stream, he was saying that she can still do some of the things that she was doing before, like dodging around and lunging to someone else. But it's not nearly gonna be as effective as before because now after you throw that, you cannot just dodge again. So the attack is either gonna be that lunge, maybe I don't know, maybe an dodgeable attack, but it's not gonna be another spinning top again. So at least you're gonna be able to come out with something. Maybe you might even throw a zone out just to trade. I don't know, but it gives you options now. So to me, she's probably still gonna be useful, especially if you already love playing the girl, you already love playing pirate, you're really good at pirate. I'm not telling you to not play the character. I'm just saying I don't think that after that chain that she's still gonna be anywhere remotely as high as she is now as far as pick rate. That is pretty much it. Aside from the weapons, we got some customization coming in. That's always gonna be good. I'm always gonna like that. New maps are coming. I think they said 2 are coming here. Kind of interested in some of these skins and heroes. I'm probably gonna go into that and maybe in another video. Because I have something that I do want to talk about on that note. So if you guys enjoyed the video, man, make sure you guys drop a like, man. Drop a comment down below, man. Tell me what you guys think about these changes. Do you guys agree with the changes? Are you guys for these changes? Do you guys think these changes are a W for Honor, man? Let me know down below, man. I'll wrap it up for you. I don't sugar it for you. I'm gonna get shit to you, bro.